Seneca once enlightened us with the idea that true happiness is found in appreciating the present moment without anxiously depending on the future. This concept is not just about finding joy in the present, but also using it as a tool to develop respect, character, and inner strength. We are about to embark on a journey to uncover the lesser-known Stoic strategies that can elevate our behavior, shape our character, and help us attain the respect we seek from others and ourselves. So, let's delve deep into the wisdom of Stoicism together and discover the 7 psychological strategies that hold the key to a life of respect and virtue. Get ready to explore how ancient wisdom can inform our present and how the echoes of Stoic thinking can resonate in our modern lives. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you could like the video to help me continue spreading Stoic philosophy. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so and hit the bell icon so you do not miss any of the strategies. 1. Mastery over perception. The first strategy is mastery over perception. The ancient Stoics understood that life's essence is not shaped by what happens to us, but by the lens through which we choose to view those events. This is not about painting life's ugly parts with a cheerful color, but recognizing that every event is like a rough stone that we can see either as a rock or as the potential diamond it could become. Imagine yourself giving a presentation at work. You've put in the work and practiced your delivery, and yet when the moment comes, the technology fails, the slides don't advance, the videos don't work, and there you are in front of your colleagues and superiors, the air heavy with expectation. In this crucible, your perception is the alchemist's tool. Do you see it as a personal disaster, a shame that will define your career, or do you perceive it as a crucial moment to showcase your ability to adapt and communicate under pressure? Choosing the latter, you take a deep breath and maybe even make a light-hearted comment about the reliability of technology, eliciting a knowing laugh from the room. Then, you continue your presentation without the slides, engaging more directly and more humanly. You're not ignoring the setback, you're transcending it. Later, people remember how you handled the situation with grace and composure. They respect you not for your flawless presentation but for your remarkable response to imperfection. This is mastery over perception and action. It's the transformative process that turns obstacles into stepping stones. It's not about denying the negative but using it as a catalyst for personal excellence. By applying this strategy to various facets of life, you build a reputation not as someone who never faces challenges but as someone who stands firm amidst them. This doesn't go unnoticed. It's this unspoken confidence, this mastery that naturally commands respect. Embracing this principle will make you a beacon of resilience, admired and trusted, not for the absence of problems in your life but for the tenacity and ingenuity with which you face them. This is the power of perception, a Stoic tool as vital today as it was in the ancient marble forums of Greece. 2. Embrace control and choice. In our journey through the Stoic lens, we come to a crossroads of control and choice. The Stoic Epictetus famously stated that we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. These words are not just a call to action, they are an invitation to freedom. Embracing control and choice is recognizing that while the world spins on its own axis, our reactions are under our command. Let's unfold this with an example that resonates with many of us. You receive unexpected feedback from your manager that is far from flattering. It is in this moment, in this crucible of challenge, that Stoic wisdom lights your path. You can't control the feedback, nor undo it, but within you lies the tremendous power to choose your response. The instinctive reaction is defensiveness, inner turmoil, or an outburst. But Stoicism invites us to choose differently. Perhaps, in that moment, you decide to truly listen. You let each word settle, not as an accusation of failure but as a reference point for growth. You ask clarifying questions, seek to understand, and then make a choice to use this feedback as raw material to carve a better and stronger version of yourself professionally. This choice is noticed by the people around you. You're not just another employee, you become the embodiment of maturity and proactivity. This is what people respect, not a flawless track record but the courage to overcome flaws and use them as the forge for improvement. When you take this principle to the broad stages of life, it becomes transformative. You're stuck in traffic and running late. You can't control the traffic lights or the pace of cars in front of you, but you can control the rising frustration. So, you choose. You pick a podcast, an audiobook, or maybe use the time to mentally rehearse your day ahead. You don't arrive with a stressed-out heart but with an enriched or prepared mind. This is the power of choice. It's these choices, made silently, without fanfare, that birth respect. People see someone who isn't at the mercy of life's unpredictable winds, but someone who deliberately adjusts their sails, who uses those winds to sail where they want to go. This isn't a skill you're born with, it's developed and honed with each challenge, and it's this skill that earns true respect. So, when life throws its inevitable curveballs, remember Epictetus' words. Remember that control and choice are your inherent Stoic powers. They are the quiet strength that can withstand any storm, not through force but through the sheer elegance of intent and will. This is what it means to live as a Stoic, and it's this life that naturally commands the respect of those who witness it. 3. Integrity in action. Integrity in action is the essence of Stoicism, giving vitality to the philosophy's fundamental principle that virtue alone is sufficient for happiness. This Stoic virtue is not an abstract ideal but a living, robust force that shapes every aspect of the Stoic life. It's in the mundane choices and extraordinary decisions that integrity in action emerges as the hallmark of a life lived by reason and virtue. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it, taught Epictetus, a directive that calls for the manifestation of one's values in the broadest sense, not just in thought but in every act and reaction. In the complexities of daily interactions, integrity in action shows up in countless ways. In the business world, it can be seen as refusing to engage in office gossip or petty politics. It's the employee who, faced with a conflict of interest, discloses it, despite potential personal loss. It's the manager who acknowledges merit when due, even when they could easily claim credit for their subordinates' work. In those moments, Stoics' actions are guided by an internal compass calibrated for integrity. They are aware that each decision is a testament to character, and each action is a chapter in their life story written for an audience of a single spectator, themselves. As Marcus Aurelius reflected in his Meditations, a person's true worth is measured by the worth of what they value. And what's the reward for this unwavering commitment to integrity? It's respect, the kind of respect that is earned, not demanded, felt, not pretended. This respect is a reflection of the true nature of one's character, unshakable and unquestionable. In a society often fixated on the idea that the ends justify the means, Stoics' means are integrity. Integrity is both the path and the destination. Thus, integrity in action is not just a Stoic principle to be discussed but a way of life to be lived. It transcends the pages of ancient texts and becomes the script by which a Stoic structures their life. It's ultimately the purest form of respect one can hope to achieve, respect that comes from a life lived in perfect harmony with their deepest convictions, principles, and Stoic virtues. 4. Empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, is not immediately recognized as a Stoic virtue. However, the Stoics deeply understood the value of empathy as a means of connecting with the human community and practicing the virtue of justice. "Kindness is mankind's greatest joy," said the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, highlighting that the ability to empathize is not just a passive feeling but an active engagement in the well-being of others. Empathy in Stoicism is the recognition that all human beings are fallible, struggle, and are capable of error, but deserve understanding and compassion. This culture of empathy doesn't imply emotional indulgence but a rational acknowledgement of the commonalities that unite us in the human experience. It's present in the patience we show a new colleague who's struggling to learn the nuances of the job, or in the understanding we extend to a friend overwhelmed by grief. Consider the leader who invests time in understanding the unique challenges faced by each team member. This leader is not just managing but leading with empathy, demonstrating an awareness that each person's experience contributes to the fabric of the whole. Through empathy, this leader can navigate the team's dynamics, align their strengths, and address their challenges, steering the ship with a watchful eye on the horizon and a compassionate hand on the helm. Cultivating empathy also involves a deeper engagement with the community. It's the entrepreneur who designs solutions not just for profit but to meet the needs of society, understanding that their true value lies in the benefit they bring to others. It's the citizen who listens with an open mind to others' viewpoints, recognizing that beneath different opinions and beliefs are common fears and hopes. Stoicism teaches that empathy must be guided by wisdom. It's not about taking on others' emotional burdens but offering the right support and understanding to promote growth and resilience. Empathy is an opportunity that presents itself in every interaction. By practicing empathy, Stoics forge deeper connections and contribute to a society based on mutual respect and understanding. Empathy can bridge divides, heal wounds, and build trust. It's a testament to the recognition that, while we may walk different paths, we share the same road under the same stars and are made of the same stardust. Cultivating empathy is recognizing the reflections of ourselves and others and acting upon that recognition with kindness and justice. It's expanding our circle of concern and understanding that every act of empathy sows the seeds for a more compassionate and harmonious world. By practicing empathy, we elevate not only others but ourselves, aligning our actions with the Stoic ideal that an individual's good and the community's good are inexorably linked. 5. Simplicity. The elegance of simplicity, a central concept in Stoicism, extols the virtue of living a life unburdened by superfluous excess and unswayed by the seductive appeals of consumerism. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, advised Epicurus. This counsel is not a mandate for austerity but an invitation to find wealth in the simple and satisfaction in the essential. In the pursuit of simplicity, there is a rejection of the clutter that often dominates our physical and mental spaces. It's the choice to value quality over quantity, to seek experiences that enrich the soul over possessions that fill the house. Simplicity finds expression in the minimalist approach to life, where each object is chosen with intention and each activity is imbued with meaning. Imagine applying this principle to everyday life. It can mean decluttering your workspace and creating an environment where focus thrives. Personal finance may manifest as a budget that prioritizes experiences and well-being over material accumulation. In relationships, the elegance of simplicity encourages us to invest in deeper connections with fewer people rather than dispersing ourselves in many shallow involvements. The Stoic finds beauty in simplicity not only in their surroundings but also in their actions and thoughts. It's a conscious decision to simplify life's complexities, cut through the noise, and focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This insight calls for internal simplification, a purification of desires, and anchoring in contentment and self-sufficiency in reason, choice, and simplicity. Simplicity in Stoicism is also a tool for resilience in the face of life's inevitable twists and turns. The person who has cultivated a simple, straightforward, and unpretentious life is better prepared to adapt. They carry their inner tranquility, unshaken by external changes, because their happiness is not tied to the impermanent and external but to the stable and internal. Living simply is about eliminating the non-essential so that the essential can speak. It's practicing restraint in a world of excess and finding peace in an age of distractions. The elegance of simplicity is the art of stripping down to the core of what brings joy, clarity, and purpose. It's the Stoic realization that, in the tapestry of life, the most impactful threads often are those woven with the simplest patterns. 6. The serenity of acceptance. The serenity of acceptance is a Stoic stronghold against the tumult of life's uncontrollable elements. It's the recognition of our limited power to change external circumstances, coupled with the acknowledgement of our absolute power to accept them. "Accept the things to which fate binds you," wrote Marcus Aurelius, conveying that peace doesn't come from control but from yielding control where it cannot be exercised. This acceptance is far from resignation, it's an active and empowered response to the challenges fate presents. When a storm approaches, the Stoic doesn't lament the rain but reflects on the futility of such lamentations. They understand that the storm, like all external events, is indifferent to our desires and discomforts. It is through acceptance that serenity is found, not by changing the nature of the storm but by sheltering the inner self from its fury. In these scenarios, this serene acceptance can be transformative. It's the calm of a doctor who, after doing everything possible for a patient, must await the outcome. It's the serene acceptance of an athlete who, after a defeat, recognizes that some factors, like the weather or the unexpected performance of the opponent, were beyond their control. These individuals demonstrate mastery in acceptance, which doesn't weaken their efforts but strengthens their equanimity. They show us that while seeking excellence is within our domain, the outcome often is not. "He who is brave is free," said Seneca. The Stoic brave, in this sense, is the one who courageously accepts the limits of fate, freeing themselves from the anguish of resisting the unchangeable. Acceptance also cultivates resilience. It's the strength to face loss, endure pain, and confront adversity, not with bitter resignation but with an understanding that these experiences are part of the human condition. The Stoic uses acceptance as a tool to maintain internal harmony even when the external world is in chaos. They find serenity not in ideal circumstances but in their response to the real circumstances they encounter. Therefore, the serenity of acceptance is a reflection of wisdom and strength. This doesn't mean one doesn't work to improve their situation, but they do so with the understanding that not all things are within their power to change. This harmonious balance between action and acceptance is the essence of Stoic tranquility. Embracing acceptance is walking through life with a steady heart and a clear mind, understanding that while we cannot command the winds of fate, we can adjust our sails. It's seeing the world with clarity, free from the distortions of frustration and disappointment. By cultivating the serenity of acceptance, we anchor ourselves in the present, undisturbed by the ripples of the uncontrollable, and master the one domain entirely ours to command, our inner self. 7. Living virtuously. Living virtuously is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, the culmination of its teachings, and the axis around which Stoic life revolves. Virtue, for the Stoics, is not a lofty ideal but a practical guide to living well. It is the embodiment of the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. As Seneca elegantly put it, virtue is nothing more than the right reason. Living virtuously is engaging with the complexities of life with a moral compass that consistently points toward the good. It means making decisions not based on what is convenient or pleasurable but on what is right. Wisdom dictates that we choose the just path over the easy one, courage allows us to walk it despite our fears, and temperance empowers us to act with moderation and self-control. Virtuous living manifests in countless everyday choices. It's in the honesty of the businessperson who conducts their affairs transparently, in the courage of the whistleblower who exposes wrongdoing at personal risk, and in the justice of the community leader who advocates for the marginalized. It's in the temperance of individuals who moderate their appetites and desires, recognizing that self-discipline is the foundation of freedom. Stoicism reminds us that living virtuously is an internal journey as much as an external expression. Living happily is an inner power of the soul, proclaimed Marcus Aurelius, indicating that virtue is intertwined with our inner tranquility and happiness. This requires ongoing effort to align our actions with our principles, regardless of external rewards or recognition. Living virtuously also means acknowledging our interconnectedness with others and the world. It's understanding that our choices and actions ripple out and impact the greater whole. Justice, in the Stoic sense, extends beyond individual interactions to a broader commitment to the well-being of society. It's the recognition that our own good is tied to the good of others. In the practice of virtue, the Stoics find true wealth. For what is more valuable than a well-lived life? What is more enduring than the respect earned through integrity? Virtue is its own reward, providing a deep sense of satisfaction that outlasts the fleeting pleasures pursued by those who do not heed its call. In conclusion, living virtuously is the intentional practice of aligning every thought, word, and action with the highest standards of moral excellence. It's a dynamic and active pursuit that challenges us to rise above base instincts and passing impulses and to act by the noblest aspects of our character. On this path, we find not only the respect of others but a profound respect for ourselves that no external circumstance can diminish. By committing to this path, we become beacons of stability and integrity in an ever-changing world. And in doing so, we leave a legacy that time itself will honor. As we come to the end of this discourse on the powerful psychological strategies derived from Stoicism, I invite you to pause and reflect. These are not just concepts to understand but principles to live by. Ask yourself which of these strategies could be a catalyst for change in your life. How can the adoption of a Stoic approach guide you toward greater self-respect and esteem for others? I encourage you to take these ancient ideas and apply them to the modern complexities of your daily life. See where they fit and where you may need to adjust your sails to navigate the vast ocean of life. Feel free to share your intentions or any Stoic moments of clarity you've experienced in the comments below. Your journey is unique, and your narrative may be the one that inspires or enlightens someone else. I sincerely thank you for dedicating your time to us. Reflect on what you've learned and consider how you can implement these strategies on your path ahead. Until next time.